Wow, excuse me. If you can't tell, I've been drinking a V8 energy drink this morning. Excuse me, I'm burping again from the V8 drink.
Oh yeah, Shimmer Nuts, I'm fully aware of this. Shimmer Nuts just says, Phil, just so you know, there's people waiting around for you to hit 7-7 in game so they can notify Atlas and try to get me in trouble. Nah, dude, people have been tweeting Atlas daily. Every time I play this game, people tweet Atlas and say,
Ugh, Phil spoiled the game for me. They're full of shit. They're completely making it up. Because how the fuck can I spoil a game for you when the game's already been on the internet, you know, since 6 months ago? The Japanese version, there's full playthroughs on the internet.
So, it's complete nonsense, but they're doing it on purpose because they're little
petty pieces of shit with no fucking lives of their own, and they'll never have a life of their own as long as they continue to act like this.
But that's the point, is I know there's people who are going to be hounding my ass, you know? So, because of that, I really don't think it's worth it to go past 7-7, at least for now, you know? Oh my god, Amplified is trying to defend people who reviewed Yooka-Laylee, and I can't stand it. He says, but it's because the reviewers get the early review copies, and they did have the frame rate problems, and that's the game developer's fault.
No, it's not. It's the reviewer's fault.
Every time you review a pre-release copy of the game, you're not actually reviewing the real game. You're reviewing an early version of the game that's not the full release version. Anyone who bought Yooka-Laylee got a different game than what the reviewers played. But those reviewers, so desperate for attention, so desperate for those day one views and the day one attention of getting a review out early, played an unfinished version of the game. And therefore, every one of their fucking reviews that mentions a frame rate issue is invalid. The review is completely negated. That's their fault. That's a whole symptom of the entire industry. The industry itself is flawed. You cannot do pre-release reviews. You just can't. Because in this day and age, you get digital day one patches that fix critical issues. And it's not fair to do pre-release reviews like that. I've been saying for how many years that people should go and buy the game themselves on release day, not get a fucking free copy, and we should all play the game on release day, and then a few days later, everyone puts out their legit reviews. Not these certain elitist people get fucking free media copies early that are unfinished versions, and then they review the games and it's all invalid. How many games have we seen in the past few years that have primary online components? Okay? And the reviewers can't even properly review them because the fucking online component isn't even on when they review the game. There's been many games like that over the past few years. And come to find out, when the game comes out, it's actually much better than the reviewer said because the online component works really well, integrated with the game. It's bullshit. I completely 100% disagree with early reviews and always have. And the bottom line is, there's a lot of people that disagree with me, and they say, well, if there weren't early reviews, then there's no consumer confidence when a game comes out, right? And that's not right, because it's a service to the consumer. You know what I say? Bullshit. How about the consumer fucking gets some responsibility for themselves, some personal responsibility, stops buying into the hype, and running the fuck out and buying a game on release day before anyone's even played it yet, before anyone knows if it's good? How about that? How about, instead of supporting this crooked, elitist, early review practice in the industry,
instead, you just have some self-fucking control and don't run out and buy everything on release day.
It's not that hard. It really isn't, to wait 3 days to buy a new release, to see if it's any good, to get actual legit people in there playing the game and reviewing it and not rushing through it to tell you if it's good or not. But the problem is, no one has self-control. Everyone just wants to have this, oh, I want instant gratification, so if a game comes out on Tuesday, I want to be able to buy it on Tuesday and already know the game's great because dozens of people already played it and reviewed it on the internet.
That's not how life works, folks. You need to have self-control.
Okay. So that's the deal, folks. I am upset about Yooka-Laylee and how it was treated by the gaming media because I think they were irresponsible shits, and the reason that they really do it is to get day one early views and attention on themselves. In particular, some of the people who actually reviewed Yooka-Laylee really low, if you actually read the reviews, they're a bunch of fucking hacks. And I'm not going to call out particular names because I think people already pretty much know the people who did really terrible reviews of Yooka-Laylee. If you go out there and read them, they're pretty obvious. People who just wanted to get a review out there for attention and to make money, rather than actually legitimately wanting to review a game. And it's pathetic because I hate, there's this mentality now in this day and age. If one person who's like a popular reviewer says it's bad, everyone has to jump on the bandwagon and pan the fucking game so that they can all be in the same mindset. And then all of a sudden the game universally becomes bad in the minds of gamers rather than people thinking for themselves, and that pisses me off. Tomorrow is my 7-year anniversary of DSP Gaming, folks. 7 years, over 43,000 gameplay videos. Holy freaking shit. I'm not even lying, every single gameplay video I've ever made, I have archived on a series of external hard drives.
Excuse me.
So yeah, I have about a dozen big, giant, bulky external hard drives for my first few years here on YouTube, and then since then I've got a bunch of these, like, pocket-sized hard drives that I have from the last 3 or so years since I moved to Washington, so... Pretty cool. Oh yeah, by the way, they call me Jim Bob, just said, YouTube must be a sinking ship because it seems like everyone is setting up a Patreon now. Yup. 1,000,000% yup, because no lie, YouTube income is literally halved for everyone. Everyone's income on YouTube is now about 50% of what it used to be. So, for the big YouTubers, oh no, the days of milk and honey, the days of the plentiful cash cow coming in so they could buy yachts and fucking multiple homes and, you know, Ferraris and everything, those days are over. Now they can only afford, you know, mid-range stuff. But for all the other people, the normal people like me, we're all screwed. Now, lucky for me, I already had Patreon set up, and, yeah, I was able to diversify with Twitch. But for YouTubers who only do YouTube and didn't really do anything else, they are pretty boned right now.